So you should have found this presentation here if you want to borrow it. Online assignment submission and grading, introducing Turnitin and GradeMark. So over the 3 workshops, we're going to be introducing several topics. These are what we're going to be covering, but this is what we're going to cover today. What is online assessment grading? What are our objectives for online grading within the department? What are the features of the Turnitin GradeMark online grading system? And what's been our experience so far? I've been using Turnitin GradeMark for 2 semesters now, and about 2 or 3 other staff members have been using it just this last semester, and we're hoping to get at least 60-70% of you up this forthcoming semester. And we want to take a quick poll at the end, a quick survey at the end, to see who is likely to uptake this immediate semester. So, and then now finally, for those that want to get going right now and want to learn more about it, I know Mellalieu does, I'll give you some links to where you can start to do some homework or self-directed learning to figure out where to go beyond what we've done so far. Basically, now can I just check, has everybody used, who's not used Turnitin before to submit assignments? You 2 should be putting your hands up. Right. Who's not used Turnitin to submit assignments?
They have students submit assignments or just submit assignments?
Students have submitted assignments. So, right. Okay. So all staff at the moment are having assignments submitted using Turnitin. So basically what happens when you use the GradeMark feature, you'll see at the very top left hand corner of your screen, when you're looking at a particular assignment, you'll see a little button called GradeMark. And here is an assignment. It doesn't look like an assignment, but imagine that this is an assignment right here. And what the GradeMark allows you to do is several things. It allows you to write a comment on the assignment. So you can just simply write a comment on here. Secondly, you've got prepared comments that you simply drag and drop. You go click and go there, weak transition there, missing comma there, and you drag those onto the assignment and they stick there, and then the student will be able to see them. And then the third key feature is something called the rubric. Down here there'll be a funny little button, and go to the right page. Okay, so when we click on the rubric, you get a place to actually allocate marks for the assignment. So in this particular case, we've got 5 criteria: the claim, development, audience, cohesion, and conventions. So those are 5 criteria. Each of those criteria is 20, 20%, so that adds up to 100%. You allocate your score to each of the criteria, so that's 4 out of 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. So you can sort of see by eye, oh, that looks like probably 4 out of 5, or 80%, 70%. And it will automatically calculate for you the percentage, 72%, the grade. So it'll calculate the grade, and that will appear up the top here, 72 out of 100 automatically. And the 10% that you've got there, that's the traditional Turnitin score of similarity with other assignments.
Can I question quickly?
You can ask a quick question.
The rubric, is that a template, or you have the facility of importing your own rubric? Is that one a template that you're using at the moment?
Both can happen.
Questions, sorry.
Yeah. I think, can I come back to that question? The answer is yes, you can import rubric templates from other people. Yes, you can import them from other assignments that you've set up.
Yeah.
But that's really a workshop.
They do come with some standard ones, do they? So you can just sort of manipulate the questions or those dimensions?
Not really. No, you
So
create your
that's
own.
one you've created, that 1 to 5 thing with those dimensions.
Yeah. This is one that the one I'm going to show you right now. This is one that I've actually created. I like skinny, long rubrics. So this one, I have my scale is either abysmal, for which you get 0, mediocre, for which you get half marks, and outstanding, for which you get whole marks. But then down here I've got my criteria. Innovation, blah, blah, blah. So I've got lots of criteria, probably about 20 criteria. And altogether these, and here are the weights, 5%, 5%, 5%, 10%, 5%. And the blue represents, the mark that I've actually allocated to that question. So these criteria, you create your own rubric. And you'll see, if you look close in, you'll see it gives you a good definition of what that criteria is, and the student can see that criteria as well. So that's what the rubric is. You don't have to use rubrics. You can just look at the assignment and decide to give it a grade. But the benefit of using a rubric is that you are explicit in what you're giving the marks for, and it does the calculation for you. So that's that. So that just gives you a quick overview of what it does. So here are some of the benefits that I've gained from using Turnitin.com. First, no paper submissions. You're not carrying big boxes of stuff around. That means it's convenient access. You can mark your assignments at home or at work, wherever you've got access to a computer. We don't think it quite works properly on an iPad at this stage. You can do some things, but not everything. But if you've got access to a computer, convenient access. The nice thing is, once you've completed the grading is hidden from the students until you make the results available to the students. So in one hit, you can make the grades available to the students. They can see their numeric grade. They can go into the assignment. They can see the comments you've put on the assignment. You can send out a message and say, right, it's there for them to see. This is called the post date. Bit of a mystery, but it's called the post date. So the students get access. So potentially they can, I don't know, I have lots of students don't pick up their assignment when they're supposed to in class, and the assignments hang around. You carry the box backwards and forwards. This gets rid of all of that. The automatic calculation of the grade. You can, I use a feature, you don't need GradeMark, but I use a feature where I have students partially submit an assignment, and then I have them resubmit the full assignment, and a good 50% I require them to resubmit again if it's of inferior quality. So I can track their resubmissions. Now that's another question, but that's another feature that I use. And so I can keep track of those resubmissions using the digital submission. You can do that right now anyway. The comments you write are legible. And the main thing is, minute of time, this is one of the key benefits, per minute of time you spend marking an assignment, you can apply more comment, you can apply more constructive comment. And secondly, if you write a comment on one student's assignment, you can recycle that comment. You can say, oh, I like that comment, I think I'll apply that to another student, and you put that into your little catalogue of marks, so you can drag it across. Another thing I found is counselling. A student comes in and says, oh heavens, I've done poorly. Please, what do I have to do to improve my future assignment or whatever? And of course they haven't brought their assignment with you. You can immediately pull it up on Turnitin. You can look at the comments. You can see whether they're understanding the comments. And you can actually, as you go through, you can actually add more comments to it. And then they can go back and they can go and see those additional comments. And there's some other features as well, as also because you've got a breakdown from the rubric of all the marks for every section, for every criterion. You can see where all the students are doing well. You can also see where the students are doing poorly on some of the questions. So you've got that statistical data. Yeah. I asked my students, do you like this GradeMark system? I had about 40 students in the class, and to my surprise, the whole class put up their hands and said, yes, we prefer the GradeMark system to getting feedback. So, and I also had about half a dozen students give me feedback about what they saw as the benefits that they saw. So this is just benefits from one particular student. They know where the assignment is. They can go online to go back to that assignment and see what the feedback was. They can read the comments. Using the GradeMark system, it's not easy, but it's easy to navigate as far as the students were concerned. It's nice having the information accessible in one place. And if you want to see more comments from students, you can go to the Yammer, where we've got quite a kind of chaotic discussion on the Yammer site.
Surely the biggest benefit for them is not having to physically hand in the assignment, come to the Unitec and put it in the box, really write hours, blah, blah, blah. They can send it from the convenience of their homes. It's like the convenience of the smartphone.
That hasn't come as a sort of strong one. The main one has been the quality of the feedback. They can see explicitly how the grade is calculated. They can see the comments, and because the comment system, each one of those funny little blobs actually opens up, and you can have a much bigger explanation. Yeah.
And they can read it over time, so they can go back and be reflective about it and wonder what difference, and actually use it as a very informative tool.
When they get over to
Yeah.
the shop.
Peter, how do we overcome the declaration, the signed declaration that we have on the hard copies, that it is their own work, and they haven't got other people to write it, or...
Right. Well, what they're doing is they're submitting a PDF or a Word doc. If there's so they can to turn it in. They are submitting it as a PDF or a doc format. Those are the two document formats that Turnitin accepts. So they can put the cover sheet and sign the cover sheet. They can scan it in and put that on top. Yes. Yeah. So that's there. If you go to the Yammer site, you'll see a whole lot of stuff there. If you click here where it says, oh, I can't do it. Oh, that's interesting. It says 11 older replies there. If you click on there, you'll see all the comments that other staff have made about their use of Turnitin. Nick's used it. Nick Cairns. Roger has used it. Who else has used it? Oh, and Patrick Dodds used it. Oh, you've used it for one. Okay. You watched me use it. Right. So there you are. So there's a whole Yammer conversation here about what people think about it, what staff think about it, what other students think about it. Yeah.
I think you've convinced us.
All right, so that's good.
Next session, are we going to talk about, I think, in terms of the rubric part, reporting that, go through the mechanics of that, or is there a video that shows that?
Yeah. Okay.
A small, can I come and do you? Just walk through.
Also a video and
I want
show
to speak
you
about the logistics of that.
for the lecturers that haven't used it
Yeah.
before, there's also very good online video that you need to
Yes.
get into.
Yes. Okay. Let me quickly show you. Okay, now that I seem to have convinced a few of you, the next slide is try GradeMark now. If you go to this slide here and you click on that link here, that link there, it won't work for you. The link will work for you on your computer. It won't work for you on your iPad. Just to prove it. Okay. So it'll take you to there on Turnitin. And if you go to try GradeMark now, it will take you to the two slides that I showed you before. So it's loading the document, your student's assignment, and it's loading all the comments there. So on your computer you'll be able to click and drag these things along. But as you see, it doesn't work on the iPad. David has done a bit of brain surgery to discover they're trying to make it work on the iPad, but they haven't quite yet got it. Yeah.
Those comments are put in by you, Peter.
This is an example assignment, and this is an example set of comments. Some of them are pre-set up there by Turnitin, but what you can do, you can, as you see here, you can just click and write your own comment, and then it gives you the option. Do you want to save this as a comment that you? It's called a quick mark. As a comment that you want to use in future. And you've got the comment, and you've also got a full description. So there's one that says awk, and the description is something like awkward. This is a clumsy construction not conforming to standard grammatical blah blah. So
every time you put a comment on the student's assignment, it'll go into that automatically?
No, you have to explicitly say, "Oh, I want to save this one." Yeah. So it's not going to save all of them. Yeah.
You can go back retrospectively and pull one across if you thought, use it again.
Yeah.
In terms of, obviously this facility is not free, so who's paying for it, and are we assured of continuous use of it? Because, you know, I've just had examples of that. We're using SurveyMonkey at the moment to get student feedback, and guess what? The summer payment didn't go through in time, and we didn't get the comments in time. You know, and things like this have gone wrong. So we're sure that Unitec or our department or whoever is going to be responsible for paying the bills budgets and pays the bills in time to make sure that we're not left at some crucial market time without the facility or the
Sure, so we'll talk about that really soon. Absolutely. That's the next stage of this conversation. How many are we going to do? We've got a pilot running. That's a big question. Just before we run away from that, though, as well as the, sorry, just taking you back away from that, but as well as those written comments, you also have the ability to make audio comments and handwritten comments.
Oh.
So within the tool itself. So you can, get something in there and use your mouse. If you're skilled at using your mouse or you have a tablet, you can actually circle things and make a quick note. You can add audio comment. You can actually capture talking heads and video content if you really want to. There's a whole lot of extra things you can do. It's about adding rich media content to the document. So worth experimenting with. Before I go back to that reasonably complicated
Yes.
issue, anything else you want to cover on that?
Let me just, at the end of the PDF, these sets of resources here. The first one is a set of GradeMark overview for students. This is the instructions that you would give to your students to interpret the feedback you've given on GradeMark. Instructor training, GradeMark overview video. So that's a quick little video which takes you through the experience of what GradeMark does. The next one is the don't remember what their next one is. Anyway, the next one, the Welcome to GradeMark practice demonstration. That's the one I've given you a little bit of a demo about. That's the one where you can actually play and experience how the GradeMark system works yourself. And then finally, there is the link to the Unitec Moodle site. Okay. So I'll go to the Moodle site, which I think I've got here. Yep.
Well, can I start?
Yep, go.
So,
Yep.
It's a very topical conversation. We're in communication with Turnitin right now. We currently, as an institute, pay only for the
Submission of plagiarism.
yeah, what's it called? The GradeMark, whatever the standard one is. I'm sorry, I'm getting back for a second here. The extra tools we're looking at are the GradeMark, but also the PeerMark, which students can assist, which could be a really interesting tool to use around the project-based learning. As well as that, we're looking at getting Moodle integration, so putting that back into the Moodle course and running straight from there. Those things are all, for us as an institute, quite expensive. We're arguing flat out around that one, what we're going to pay, and we're doing some sneaky things like arguing about what's above level required or not. The truth right now is we have 1,000 test copies, and we've situated them within DOM because Peter's been the champion for these extra tools, so it's got the first access to it. It's not spread across the campus as a whole. We're trying to get a pilot scheme going to get enough departments working with it so we can make a very good case to council to say we need the $30,000 that actually going to cost 30 years to run these tools. Let's pay that please. What we need to do at the moment is to run this pilot scheme with 1,000 seats. The problem with the Turnitin seats is there's 30,000 seats across campus, except in Long where there's 1,000 seats. Okay, and that's cost. If 1,001 students log into GradeMark, it stops for everyone. It's a stupid system. That's the system. What I'd like to get to is over the next few months, is a very clear view over this semester of which you are genuinely going to use the tool and how many students you want to work with it, so that we can say, okay, well, this is how many students you have. We want to basically do initial, because we like Peter have done initial work. So you're one of the 8 departments right now saying we really want this tool. But we also need to do this. If you can use the 1,000 seats within your department and no one else gets to look at it, you need to get probably not going to pay for it. So the request is, let's get a real number. Let's get a real number around how many seats you'd like to use. And a quick calculation, top of my head with Peter before, we're looking between 300 and 500. Let's make that so we can. And then I can go to the department and say, well, you've got 100, you've got 150, you've got 20, or whatever you've got. Okay. And that's the answer to the question. It's a pilot right now.
So we have to think about it very carefully, and to see where the benefit will be for, where the most benefit can be derived. And those are the courses it should go to. Do you know what I mean? Obviously you've got to have the lecturer who wants to do it, but also it's probably more beneficial to somebody who's, say, marking 60 students
It's more beneficial to go to the person who's generally going to take it on.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
final receipt.
No, I know.
It'll eventually become available to everyone if they want to use it or not. But what I'd like to see, preferably right now, is for those staff who are genuinely going to apply it.
Yeah.
And jump in.
Yep.
From a management perspective, I absolutely align us. I mean, Facebook today, MySpace yesterday, something else tomorrow. Turnitin today, something else tomorrow. But the behavior and the approach is consistent. So on that basis, it's a pilot from a Turnitin brain perspective. But have no doubt because of the direction we are taking in this manner. So one way or the other, the road will clear up for us and moving forward. From my perspective, as another goal, if you wish, is to have all our courses in semester 1 2014 100%
Okay, so we've got, I don't know how many staff we've got in this teaching staff. How many teaching staff have we got? 18. So, okay, we've currently got 5 have touched it. How many are strongly considering picking it up to use? Right? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's another.
I don't think you can.
7. I didn't count you, Daniel. That he's accounting. I didn't count you because you're recording. All right. So again? Robert. Roger. I've got Roger. I've got what? Nick, Pete, Ken, Patrick, and Roger. 2, 4. So that's 5.
So this is
Robert.
not Turnitin. This is GradeMark.
Using GradeMark.
He uses GradeMark, sure.
Yeah. He does. You guys have got, I think currently, I think there's something like 170 assignments currently
Okay.
in GradeMark.
All right. So that's likely to be. Okay. What's the average class size? 35?
Well, around 27.
Okay. 30. An average number of courses per staff?
5 per year.
3
Roughly 3 courses
per semester. Right. So that's minimum because we haven't got the other staff there. Minimum plus the absent staff who aren't here. At least 36. Yeah. That's right. There's a correction factor.
Well,
Yeah.
you're counting the seats that people are in courses, or are you counting total?
It's the number of logins to Turnitin that use the GradeMark
So
feature.
one
Yeah.
student takes 4 courses.
Yeah. So.
Times through the semester.
So we've got to have a correction factor. If on average we've got 2 students, each student does 2 courses, then our correction factor is 0.5.
How many students have we got?
Yeah.
How many students are we teaching to? That's
Peter, question for you.
Yeah.
Now you are resubmitting the assignments to Turnitin. On what basis did you do that?
Because, okay, this is not to do with Turnitin. What I do, I have my students submit part of their assignment week 3, and that's called the first submission. Then I give them feedback. I give them a lot of feedback at week 3, and then at week 6, they make their final submission. And the way that Turnitin does, because it's a resubmission, it discounts the fact of their first submission. It doesn't say you plagiarized your first submission. Okay, I can show you that at the next workshop. But then I have the system, if the student fails to achieve certain minimum writing criteria, I require a portion of those students to resubmit again. So I have them resubmit again to Turnitin. So it provides an excellent system for me to manage all of that. And all those students at week 3, I also refer them to Ken, and I refer them to Mary.
So can we cover some more of that in the
Yeah.
couple of workshops then?
Yeah.
So can we look at this the other way, which is a really good suggestion? If we look at the champions who are already in the department, who are already doing stuff, are you happy for Pete and I sit down and actively go through the numbers, we can see previous numbers, we can look at the staff who put their hand up, who are really keen to engage with it, and let's try and get it to 500 so I can say to the rest of the campus, I've got 500 seats. And that's how it's going to do, is to work with people who are champions for it, because we're only speaking about 3 or 4 months of trial, and they're getting it signed off this year, hopefully before the end of their submissions come in.
Can I just ask, is it better within the norm that for us to have, say, myself as a champion running across 3 courses, or myself running across 1 and bringing in 2 new people on 1 course each? What's the preference?
I think that however, whichever way gives you the weightier argument, when we write, there'll be some sort of feedback to council. But I would say that the greater number of courses will be collecting feedback responses from students as well, I assume.
Yeah.
That's whichever way you think that's going to work best.
Yeah.
Who were the other people that wanted to pick it up? There was Mary, Mellalieu, Denisa.
Who's already using GradeMark as a good starting point? Who's already using
I
GradeMark?
have used it.
Yeah, so I'd like to have those at the top of our list. I'm sorry for everyone else. And Roger.
Patrick and Roger already.
These are the people who are already using it.
Okay.
Yeah. And Robert. Right. So I've got Mary, Mellalieu, Denisa, Ahsoka, Jeff, and Al.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So let's, you and I sit down, Peter, with the numbers and do an accurate survey. Can we come back to the department and say, well, this is what we can see on the numbers, on the actual logins and figures.
Yeah.
See if we can get some agreement for the next workshop. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
And we'll push it to the 500 end rather than 300 end, and get 500 for the rest of the campus. Is everyone happy if we do that?
Yeah.
I think we're more likely to win on actually getting the